Well, good afternoon. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. Really glad you could join me today out here in the vegetable garden. It's a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania, Zone 6. It's early April. It's like 44 degrees out here, so it's a little bit cool, but you know, this springtime is a lovely time to be outside working in your garden. Well, anyhow, I had a subscriber by the name of M Ladies Simple Elegance. She left a comment the other day about my garden structure, and so I wanted to read that comment to you and then do an updated video on my outdoor garden structure. But she asked the question here: should you ever do a follow-up on your garage garden prep table and arbor? Would you please show in more detail the footings and ground level construction of your table arbor starting at 3 minutes and 35 seconds, please? She also writes here, thank you so much for all your videos. I enjoy them so much. I am inspired by them to increase my honey let's do this list and get so much insight and detailed information. Again, thank you, sir. So anyhow, I hope to do an updated video today on my outdoor garden structure that's really beneficial out here in my garden. So thanks for joining me today. And the video that she was referring to, I actually filmed it back on December 10th of 2015. The title was How I Constructed My Outdoor Vegetable Garden, Prep Table, and Workstation. So what I thought I would do is, behind me on the deck there I have a measuring tape, just to give you some idea, some overall dimensions of the structure, and then we'll go in a little bit closer and take a look at some more detail of the structure. So let me grab my tape and we're just going to measure some of the dimensions of this structure, so it gives you some idea of scale. So I have my 25-foot tape here, and I'm just going to hook it here on the deck. And so the overall length of this is 15'6". And the reason I did that is because this is a 16-foot 2x6. And this is all treated lumber that I use. And of course there's no more arsenic in this lumber like they used to put in it. So it's safe out here in the garden. This is also an L-shaped structure here. So let me measure the other direction. And this is 89 inches across, 7 foot 5 inches. And then going this way, it's 65 inches. Now these posts that you see here, these are sunken in concrete, maybe about a 8-inch diameter hole. You want to make sure you go below your frost line, maybe 30, 32 inches. You would have to check your local codes. And this post is also in the concrete as well as the other side. Now let me measure across the deck here. And so we're about 64 inches across. And then the L shape here is about 10 feet. And this is actually my outdoor shower area, although and I also use it for storage area throughout the summer. And so this here is 58 inches, 5/8 inches, and across here is 4 feet. And then from the floor to the top of the 2x6 I have 7 feet. And then these are also 2x8 floor joists, so they're 7¼ inches high. The deck boards are 5/4 by 6 treated lumber. That means they're 1 inch by 5.5 inches. Also, the work table's the same material, 5/4 by 6. The workbench table, being it's not supporting a lot, I just used 2x4s here, and they're also just sitting right on top of my floor joist that goes across. And then these roof slats up here, these are 2.5 inches wide. Those are also treated lumber. And I also added some corner braces in the corners. It adds a little bit of strength to the building. It also adds a little bit of grace to all the different corners. And then up this side of my arbor here, or my structure here, is where I grow my Malabar spinach. I also grow a couple sun gold cherry tomatoes up this. And so let me grab the camera and we'll get a little closer look of the structure. Now this outdoor workbench is really helpful. It's really handy. You know, I have my hose right here, and so we can wash off all the vegetables. I like keeping a lot of the dirt and a lot of the mess out of the kitchen. You can also use this as a potting for potting soil. You know, put your for your pots if you need to move plants from one pot to the other. It's just a good all-purpose outdoor workbench. When we can, we do a lot of canning, over 100 quarts of tomato sauce and zesty salsa come the fall. So we do a lot of our washing and prep work out here. So it's just really handy to have outside here. But this workbench is 34 inches wide by 95 inches long. And I used all deck screws on the floor and also on the workbench. And then this under here is a 2x6. They're 1.5 inches by 5.5. And then I just have some cross 2x6s. I built a 2x6 frame with some 2x6s going across. And those 2x6s are spaced 24 inches on center. And then I just put the deck boards across here. And you know, also these roof slats that I have up here, these are spaced about 4¼ inches apart. And then on the end here I built a little garden trellis where you can, a lot of my morning glories will grow up here. This is constructed out of 1¼ inch cedar. I had some 3/4 inch cedar planks. I ripped them down to 1¼ inch. And then I just used an air-powered staple gun to build this. I also stained all this outdoor structure. It's called Swiss Mocha. I get it from Ace Hardware. It's a Wood Royal is the manufacturer of it, but it's like $28 a gallon. But in our state parks here in Pennsylvania, this is the color that they use on a lot of their outdoor structures. And underneath my work table too, I have like a 100-gallon tank, a heavy PVC tank that I think they're called tough tanks. You get them from Tractor Supply, but this is again like a 100-gallon. Early in the season when because it's too cold and my water lines underground would freeze, I just put in a utility pump with a hose that I direct sow a lot of my seeds out in the garden this time of year. So I have about 1.5 months where I can pump water out of this to water my seeds that I direct sow out in the garden. And so let's get the camera and we'll get a little closer look to underneath this workbench and see how it's supported. And so let me grab it. So let's just move in a little closer. You can see these are the 2x4 legs for the table. You can see under the table the 2x6 cross pieces. But these are just sitting right on top of that. This is called a rim board or a band board that goes around the perimeter of the structure. And you can see that those legs are just fastened with a couple screws to the top of that rim board. If you didn't have a rim board or anything underneath here or any tub under there, you could always just continue that deck right across, and then those legs would sit right on your deck. And that's what the legs on the other side of the table are doing also. They're just sitting on that top of the deck or rim board over there. Let's take a closer look. You can also see on the far side of where my shower structure is, or storage structure, there's like a 1 foot of space on the far end, and I usually put a couple pots with some flowers on the side there. I also cover my big container here with the wire fence section, so nothing can fall in it, nobody can fall in it. I have 3 grandchildren and 2 more on the way, and so you really got to play it safe when you have little toddlers around. And so let's take a peek inside here. This is the utility pump that I'll be using to attach my hose to in that big tub in the ground, that where I'll be then using that to water a lot of my seeds that I direct sowed out in the garden. But this is just handy to have out in the garden. And again, I take my outdoor showers out here in the summer when I'm working out in the garden, or if I'm out mowing the grass. You know, you get all dirty and grimy, so this is a great place to be able to wash off. You can see some of the corner brackets that I use. Again, on the upper parts I use 2x6s. Here's a different angle from inside my shower stall area. In fact, there's the shower head right there. I just used some PVC pipe to construct that, but I have a couple 2x6 cross pieces going across to help support the slats up on the roof. But it's really basic construction. You know, I have some of my other garden trellises, and you know, they're simple, basic construction. You always could get a friend or neighbor to help you construct it. I also have another 4x4 about the middle of this span here, which is 16 feet, but I have another support under here in concrete, another 4x4. Now, like this post here on the corner of the right side of my shower door going in, this one on the left side, this one's just sitting on top of the deck. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the corner posts on this structure. Those are the ones that are anchored in deep into the soil with some concrete surrounding them. I also, once the weather warms up, I want to pressure wash this outdoor structure and pressure wash the deck and give this another coat of outdoor stain. Well, anyhow, I hope this was able to answer your question. And if you have any other questions or comments about this video, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And you can also visit us at plantsmartliving.com. And there you can learn more about gardening, and also how you can reclaim your health by adopting a whole food, plant-based, vegan lifestyle. Well, anyhow, I hope you have a wonderful day today. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.